Hey guys, Zen here, and today we're back with some more Rainbow Six Siege, of course, and in this video, we're going to speak on one of the most interesting cases here, and there's also been a new leak, and so let's talk about it. Firstly though, guys, it's becoming more important than ever to stay safe and browse privately while you're online. And so I wanted to thank NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. NordVPN offers super fast servers in over 60 countries with double data encryption to keep you and your data private and secured while you're on the web. Now, as we're all aware in this community, hackers love to gain access to things they probably shouldn't. And one of the best ways to keep them out of your personals is to use a VPN service like NordVPN. They keep no logs of your browsing activity, and you can have up to 6 simultaneous connections, which keeps all of your devices snoop-proof, and they've got 24/7 support if you run into any trouble. And so, guys, at the top of the description, there's a link that'll get you 70% off NordVPN, plus an additional month free when you go to nordvpn.com/zen or use code ZEN at checkout. This is an incredible deal if you spend a lot of time on the internet, and if you're not happy, they've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. And so, guys, click the link in the description to learn more, and thanks again to NordVPN for supporting the channel. So, have you guys ever wanted to play Rainbow Six Siege on your phone? Just imagine it, being able to hold angles and use gadgets on your mobile device from virtually anywhere in the world away from your PC or console. Well, a Chinese company had this exact idea and created a game called Area F2. So for those of you who are completely in the dark here, Area F2 is a game developed by a Chinese company and is basically a one-to-one ripoff of Rainbow Six Siege. Everything from unique operators, or agents as they're called in the game, to droning and weapon attachments like the ACOG and everything else in between. It's from Rainbow Six Siege. This game was growing in popularity fast. Like, it was gaining so many new players. It started being recommended in the App Store as one of the top games, and a small community was starting to grow on video platforms like YouTube, with people uploading content on this game and getting noticed. Now, with all of this traction, there was only one problem. It was completely illegal. And this is where our story goes a bit to the left, and you really need to understand the legalities to get the full picture. Now, in the US, Canada, and Europe, copyright laws basically work the same. If you create something, you own it, and no one else can really replicate or duplicate it without your explicit permission. However, in China, copyright laws are totally different, and it's actually very easy to rebrand a product with a different name and market it as your own. Or like in this case, develop a game with all of the same core mechanics as Rainbow Six and never ask permission by the original developer. And so because of all of this, it actually forced Ubisoft into a pretty serious lawsuit over the game, and not with the developers of Area F2, known as KUKA Games, but with Apple and Google, because they're both American companies and the game is accessed through the App Store and Google Play Store. It's a complete mess. Like, you'd think Ubisoft could just go directly to the root of the issue and shut down the whole operation, but because of the way the laws work, they actually can't. Or if they did, there could be the potential they lose and the game can continue on as its own product, completely separate to Ubisoft. And so as a result, Area F2 is still a thing, and you can even still play it, but as of now, it has been removed by both Apple and Google, and you cannot download it through their app stores. You'd have to be in China and playing through some sort of hosted server to gain access, and there's even people who've spent money in the game on skins and stuff like that, and that's basically all a waste as of now. Now, there is one redeeming thing to take away here that could benefit us all, and it's that there is clearly a massive audience that's wanting to play a mobile version of Rainbow Six Siege. Mobile versions of big AAA games have been on the rise as of recently, with games like Call of Duty Mobile and PUBG Mobile really pushing it forward, but I guess I never really considered what a mobile version of Rainbow Six Siege would look like, and if I'm honest, after checking this game out, the developers of Area F2 made a super polished experience that a lot of people really had fun with, and you almost have to tip your hat to that. Now, yes, they did have the blueprint that is Rainbow Six Siege in their back pocket, but they had no support from Ubisoft, which means they built this from the ground up and did a pretty solid job with keeping the players interested. So guys, ultimately, Area F2 will probably never be playable in a region outside of China, and my heart goes out to those who dumped a ton of cash out for the in-app purchases, but it could be the shining light that pulls Ubisoft to make an official Rainbow Six Siege on mobile, which is something that clearly has demand. So, alright, there is more to this video, but what do you guys think? I know it's a little drawn out, but is a mobile version of Rainbow Six Siege something you'd have any interest in? Next up, we have an update on one of the most anticipated features ever here in Rainbow Six Siege, and that's the match replay system. Unfortunately, it's been delayed, and the devs offer up a bit about why, and also share a closer look at what to expect. They say, our goal with match replay is to provide players with an interactive tool that will provide full coverage coverage and perspective on their last 10 games. Through the Watch tab in the main menu, you'll be able to access your replays where your last 10 games are saved. Once you're in the replay, you can use the spectator mode tools to relive your clutch plays, scrutinize missteps, and analyze your strategy to level up your game. Further down the road, we'd like to give Match Replay even more functions, such as storing them on the game server instead of locally, a share feature so you can share your replays with your friends, and even the possibility of downloading and watching replays from official esports matches. Now, it is unfortunate that this amazing new feature has been pushed back, but if it means just a better experience when it does finally arrive, then there isn't too much to be disappointed with. Once it does launch, there will be a new Watch tab on the main menu, and you'll have access to the last 10 games. And so if you're obsessed with analyzing your own strategies or just looking to improve, this is going to be a powerful tool. Now, for me, I think I'm most excited about the upcoming esports feature because for the first time ever, you'll be able to watch from any of the pro players' perspective and break down literally every single one of their moves in a way that's just never been possible before. When you watch a pro game today, the person acting as the cameraman does a great job switching to where the action is, but it's impossible to watch every single step of every player during the match. And with this feature, you'll be able to with every game. The replay system will be available on the test server first at some point in the future, and of course, make its way to the live game shortly after. Next up, I've just got to be honest with you guys. I really wanted to refrain from seeing this, but it's everywhere right now. Just watch this. So guys, Dokkaebi's Electrobeat Elite has leaked, and for the first time, we've got an operator dancing as a part of their MVP animation. Now, I wanted to bring this up because I know the Elites have been a bit of a sore spot in the community as of recently. Naturally, there are some people who will see this and just be instantly in love and just throw money at the screen, but there are some others who feel passionately about keeping a more serious tone with the Elites, and these more character-driven ones don't always accomplish that. Both Smoke and IQ received a lot of criticism with this in particular, and I could imagine Dokkaebi could be looked at very similar here. For me, I'm a fan. Like at the end of a 4-4 match that just emptied my body of all the sweat. Yeah, Dokkaebi turning up the stereo could lighten up the mood, and so I see no wrong. But I get it if you're a Dokkaebi main and not a big fan of her upcoming Elite. Now, the latest confirmed Elite is coming to Echo, and it looks absolutely stunning, but Echo is constantly banned, and so even if you do get it, you might not see it all the time in rank. Lastly here, guys, Rainbow came out with a statement talking about an upcoming post that'll give updates on priority topics that have been important to the community. They say, "We hear you and see your passion and love for Siege. Your feedback has always been critical to us, and we want Siege to be the best it can be. We do not have immediate or simple answers for some of these issues, but the team continues to keep them at the forefront." Now, guys, this is obviously pointing to the current state of the health of Rainbow Six Siege. Even the devs can't deny that things are rocky at the moment, and look, the community is looking for solid answers. Now, I know a lot of this feedback is coming from the PC community, but I really don't want them to leave out the console guys either, because mouse and keyboard on console is still a massive issue over there, and that's probably been the longest standing single problem the game has ever had. Even if they can't come out and say, "Okay guys, in the next patch we can guarantee that Siege will be hacker free," at the very least, I'd like to know the roadmap for addressing these issues head on and some worthwhile solutions that can really help get the game's health back on track. Guys, from my perspective, Siege's gameplay is the best it's ever been, and when the match is totally fair, I still have those moments we all play the game for, and so from a content standpoint, there really isn't too much I'm looking for personally. But we've got to be honest here, hacking, smurfing, and game-breaking bugs are the trifecta that have been an issue for this game since its release, and we only ever really get a season or two when they're all at bay, and then it's like they come back with a vengeance. I do think it's important to note that a game like this will always have some version of each one of these things throughout its lifespan, like it's just the nature of the beast, and so with that in mind, I am looking forward to this next big statement from them, and I'll be here to break it all down once it drops because I think it's probably the single most important thing they can do right now, and I can't wait to see what happens next. My suggestion has always been to just take a season off and introduce an Operation Health at 2.0. Back when the original Operation Health came to be, there was a season planned for Year 2 Season 2 instead, but things just got to a boiling point and the devs had no choice but to pull back and improve the game. After Operation Health, the actual health of the game definitely improved. It was a little unfortunate that the very next season we had one of the most overpowered operators ever with the launch of Ella, but the game was at least in a much better state, and I could imagine that could be a huge benefit today. And so guys, there it is. I hope you had fun with this one. There was a lot, but what are your thoughts? Are you a fan of the Dokkaebi Elite? And And what do you make of the Area F2 situation? Ubisoft is definitely gearing up to lay the hammer down on this project, and it's honestly one of the most fascinating topics in gaming in a while, and so I'd love to know your thoughts. As always, you guys can follow me over on Twitter for updates as they break, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for the incredible support recently, guys. We're closing in on 300K, which is just such a huge goal, so make sure to subscribe with those notifications, and be sure to drop a like if you did enjoy. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and with that, I'm out.